Hello everyone, welcome back, hope you're well. A little bit of a late update this week because I've been on holiday and then I went straight back to work. It doesn't really matter though because there's still nothing good to report. It's Tuesday now, I hope it's Tuesday. Yesterday the market saw another massive dip, mainly because coronavirus deaths went up and also Russia and Saudi Arabia decided to go to war over oil. Why is this all happening at once? The conspiracy theorist in me says that all these people are getting together and deciding to just pile on a load of shit in order to drop the market for some reason. Everything seems to have come at exactly the same time. There's something funny about that, don't you think? I imagine that half of you this week are holding on to your pants to try and stop shitting yourself and try not to sell out in this horrible market as you watch your funds drop by around 14 to 20%. It's horrible. I'm doing all right. I'm 14% down, and that seems to be in line with the markets. Yeah, 15% on the FTSE 100 at the moment, and the S&P 500 is 14.7. So I'm in line. I'm okay with that as long as I'm not less. That's okay. The other half of you are probably praising this massive market drop and investing and hoping that one day everything's going to shoot back up. Hopefully around a month's time everything will start to gradually get back up. There's a lot of different opinions out there on what's going to happen. All I can do is base my decisions on what's gone on in history, and I'm hoping everything goes up one day. There are two new investors out there this week. Two of you used my Trading 212 link, which can be found in the description below, because I got two new shares of General Electric this week. If you can, let me know what you got, because I'm still trying to track what Trading 212 are giving out as free shares, because General Electric is a pretty shit share. It's about $6, I think, and it has been tanking since 2016. No idea why, because I've seen them buy a lot of companies. Their income sheet's pretty shit. They've been down pretty much every year since 2017. I haven't fully looked into that. They're not a company who I would have bought anyway, but I'm going to keep them going just to see if it goes up one day. But these two new investors, if they're going to put in a shit ton of money right now, they could be millionaires by Christmas. That's if you believe what every single growth investor thinks at the moment. I'd really like to know how you're doing and what your strategy is, so leave some comments below. Just let me know. I'd love to find out more information from people. The great news in this bad week is that I got my first dividend. Woo! This doesn't officially make me a dividend investor because I haven't actually reinvested it yet. I probably will, but I haven't yet, so that doesn't make me a dividend investor yet. We're still working out if it's the right thing for me. Part of me trying to decide my strategy and decide to continue using Trading 212 is how they pay their dividends and what they do with them afterwards. So if we have a look down at my recent notifications, we'll find in here that on the 3rd of the 3rd, Novartis, which is a pharmaceutical company that I quite like, I won't go into that, maybe on a different day. They paid me a dividend of 192 francs. It's a Swiss company, by the way. And I received £1.55. That's all the information that it actually gives to you, which is a bit disappointing. I also don't know where it's gone. I'm assuming that it's gone into my free funds. Now, I think I had about £4 in there. I can't really remember, but there's no actual balance sheet that shows like when something's gone in. And I mean, you can go into history and it shows you a lot of different things going in there, and I've deposited £6.39 for some reason there. There isn't a lot of information about where that thing's gone. I'm assuming it's gone into the free funds, and I suppose I should just be smart enough to know that. But what if I was a bit of an idiot? It'd be nice to have like a balance sheet of everything that's in and out and where it went. There also isn't a ton of information on how it's calculated. So this is a dividend from a Swiss company, so it's paid in francs, and they've converted it on Forex to £1.55, but they haven't actually given an exchange rate. And this is quite interesting because someone else pointed this out on the community forum. So on the community forum, a guy called Richard W replied to me about a dividend he was paid, and he couldn't quite figure out what the exchange rate was, and he had to do a lot of maths to figure it out. And he worked out that they might have been using the foreign exchange rate from his ex-dividend date rather than the dividend paid date. Now that's quite a funny one because in pence that can change quite a lot of dividend amount. Someone did reply that they were looking into it. Trading 212 did admit that there was an FX issue with the conversion rates. So he's found something there that's pretty interesting. So this is called for a bit more transparency with how the dividends are calculated and paid for you. So it take into account dividend withholding tax from America, and then the conversion rate from America, and then finally what you get. And now that would be really nice to get. I think they ended the conversation with something like, yeah, they're working on it, they'll have a look. Trading 212 is really actually quite good for that. They will change things when people bring stuff up. They're really quite interactive with the community, and I think they finished there. David there, they said they won't be using the ex-dividend date anymore, and everything will be paid using the payment date. So that's good. That sorts everything out there. I don't know what that would mean for past rates, but I guess they get to choose which rate you use. There's no actual rules on which foreign exchange rate they should be using on what day, so I guess they're just going to go from here onward. It would be nice to see a bit more transparency though. A nice thing that shows how much you would have got paid, how much tax went, how much the foreign exchange rate changed stuff, and then finally the amount that you get. A little bit for me would be where it went, but I think everybody knows it goes into the available funds bit, ready for you to go. This brings me on to the next bit, which is what happens to the dividends after they've been paid to you. Shout out to Dividends with Alicia, who has a channel doing some sort of trading 212 challenge. Sorry I haven't really had time to look at it, but it looks like you're doing something interesting. It looks like you're doing well. He commented saying that he hopes dividend reinvestment automation comes in pretty soon. I think he said by the end of March. I had a quick look around. I went on the forum just to see what was going on there, and again, Mr. Iaguar or Laguar or whatever your name is, he's been putting up saying that M1 has the automatic reinvestment strategy. Scroll down a little bit, and there's our friend, Dividends with Alicia. He's asking Ivan when Drip will be released, and Ivan says it's going to be released in March 2020. So by the end of this month we could have dividend reinvestment. That's a little thing that will automatically reinvest your dividends on a percentage basis into different funds. It just helps with your cost averaging. Personally, I'm having a lot of fun choosing my stocks, so I might not use the drip feature just yet, but I imagine once you start getting up into the tens of thousands and then the hundreds of thousands, the amount of dividends you get is just going to be unmanageable, so you just want them to reinvest automatically, don't you? One final thing related to the dividends is I asked the community forum if we could have a dividend history chart. I use Dividend Max and Dividend Data to see the nice big flow of dividends paid by a company. It'd be great to see something like that in the Trading 212 app. I think it's the last thing I need to be able to fully evaluate a company from an analysis point of view, right from the app, and never have to leave this app if they added this feature. George, who must work at Trading 212, replied saying hi. They've already got a kind of system put in place for it, and they hope to add that for dividends soon. So that's really, really good news for me, and hopefully good news for you guys as well. I'll end this with my portfolio and what I'm planning on doing next. As you can see, I'm 14% down. Everything is completely in the red. There's no way out of it. I've just got to hold at the moment. You only lose money if you sell. Just drill that into your brains. You only permanently lose money if you sell, and if a company goes bankrupt. But none of these companies are going to go bankrupt because you choose good stocks, right? My choice right now is I'm going to wait. I feel like there's a lot more coming in this drop. I also have explained before that I'm waiting for my ISA to start on April 6th, so I still need to wait a little while before my money goes in. I did do a really cool thing, and I sold a lot of the profitable funds in my Hargreaves and Lansdowne account right before the crash, so I actually have a couple of grand spare right now that I'm ready to put in. I'm just going to put it in at the right time. I know that sounds like I'm timing the market because I've just used the word time, but the truth is right now I can put stuff in and it might go lower. I'm at peace with the FOMO thing. I don't think I'll be upset if I missed out on a couple of days worth of gains. I'd rather miss out on a couple of gains rather than just have a complete loss and wait forever for it to grow back. I'm probably going to look at sort of early April to starting my cost averaging again. I am doing a little bit of cost averaging. I put more shares into AB Foods just to even it out a little bit. I bought some Coca-Cola because it was really cheap and their dividend date is coming up soon. And also Segro. Segro is a UK REIT. They've got a really good portfolio. I'm not going to go into it right now because I think in a few months' time I'm going to do a big post on REITs and what REITs I'm going to buy. Some of them might surprise you. Some of them you'll just be like, oh yeah, of course, everyone fucking buys that one. I've only really put in about 200 quid this week, just keeping my cost averaging up, just keeping it all going. Right, hopefully that's a short one today, just with a quick portfolio update. I've got my first dividend. I'm a little bit happier now with everything that's going on, and I'm starting to understand how the dividend investment strategy works and how solidly you can make a lot of money. Thank you for watching again. Like and subscribe, and also thank you to the 2 people again who signed up through my Trading 212 link below. If you sign up, we both get a free stock. Like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next week.